Okay, we are live. I'm attorney Vince Davis, and this is The Secret: How to Fight CPS and Win. I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Miss Deidre Payne from Orange County, California. Miss Payne, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. And from all the way across the country, we have Mr. Darren Guy, all the way from the state of Maine, and the host of the new CPS Father Show. What's the title of that show, Mr. Guy?
It's CPS Men in the Trenches.
I watched one of the episodes. I was very impressed, you and your co-host.
Thank you.
So what's going on in the state of Maine these days?
Well, we're getting prepared for this hurricane we've got coming our way.
Hurricane all the way in Maine? Is that
Yeah,
possible?
it's happened before.
Oh, really?
Like Hurricane Gloria. I don't know if that's going to date me, but I think that was like 87 or something like that. That was a direct hit one. I was just a little lad then, but well, about 10 years old, I guess. But
Oh,
now,
very
yeah,
good.
this one's gunning right for us.
Very, very unfortunate.
Hmm.
I'm
So maybe
getting
we'll
a
be doing a live from the weather on Saturday.
yeah. I'm getting a repeat and a reverb. I wonder, is that Deidre's fault?
I don't
Don't
know.
blame it on me right away. Why would it be me?
I'm out.
Now I have a
Let me
virtual
let me
background and
test
now I
something.
have a echo. Mute me, see what
Testing,
happens.
testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just muted Darren, so I don't know if it's coming from you, Darren.
I don't know.
Mm,
Am I in here? Are
mm.
we muted? Are we unmuted?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're okay now. Hey, we
All
had
right.
a special guest tonight. What happened to her?
She was
She's
just on a second ago.
She has
well.
disappeared until and unless she comes back. Let's take some questions. Mr. Guy, Miss Payne, do you have any questions that I can answer for our audience? And if the audience
I
has
think you
questions,
had
please.
one, Darren, from yesterday, didn't you? You said you were going to ask Mr. Davis today.
Oh my gosh, I did. But do you remember what it
No, yeah.
was?
Oh,
Um.
Lordy.
Holy smoke! No, I hear that lag too. Um. Oh man, there really was one too. Oh, Mister, I think it was along the lines of, can you just go over real quick? Because when I was on The Secret last night, um, I kind of spoke about what happens when the police and when they come to your door, when CPS first comes to your door. I wasn't sure with the legality type things, but can you kind of give like the legal synopsis side of like when they come to your door, what the do's and don'ts are? Like if the police come, if they're what their um, what their line of service is there, and just to kind of I just wasn't, like the police, for instance, they're not there as a vision of authority. They're supposed to just be there to keep the peace, correct? They're not there as a line of authority to come and promote the actions by CPS, right?
Well, it depends.
Okay.
It depends. So there's only two scenarios you can have. They show up without a warrant and they show up with a warrant. Okay. Without a warrant, my advice, general advice, and it changes depending on the facts and the circumstances, is don't talk to them. Don't let them in. Okay. Now, apparently that's a very hard thing to do. I've never been in the situation, but a lot of people I talk to, they almost feel compelled that they have to talk to the police and the social worker when they don't have a warrant. It's not true. No matter how much cajoling and threats they use, if they don't have a warrant, you don't have to talk to them. Now, whether you should talk to them or not, it's a case by case basis. The general rule is go away until you have a warrant. That's it. Now, let's say they come to your home with a warrant, and the warrant says they can either come inside or take your children or whatever. You, as the adult, should not talk to them. You should read the warrant, and if the warrant is valid, you should not talk to them. They can never get a warrant to make you talk to them. They can get a warrant, unfortunately, to take your kids. And if they have a warrant to take your kids, no matter what you say, you cannot stop it because a judge has ordered it. And usually what happens is the police and or the social worker try to get you in conversations, maybe giving you the false hope that if you talk to them, that your kids won't be taken away. Not true. They don't have the authority. Once that judge signs the warrant, they got to take those kids. They can also get a warrant to come in your house and check it out and to talk to your children and inspect your home. That is not a warrant to talk to you. Okay? And if they have a warrant to talk to your children, you got to let them talk to your children, unfortunately. All right? So that, it's a very simple, very simple. Very simple for me to state what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Very hard in the heat of the moment. When the social worker's at the door with 5 cops.
So that was going to be my question to you: is how many of the cases that you take on are screwed up immediately because of the actions of people when CPS first comes to their door, where it could have been a very simple, avoidable situation, and then because they didn't listen to the rules that you put out, have now turned it into a complete jargoning of a case. Yeah.
Complete cluster.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 95%.
Yeah.
In the heat of the battle, heat of the moment, all common sense and legal advice goes out the door.
Oh, I know that. I'm well aware.
Yeah. People, their emotions take over, and it's difficult for them to look at cases from a non-emotional view, especially, when it involves their children. I mean, there's nothing else more important in the world, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Right. Hey, look who we have back. We have back Mandy.
We've got a square.
I don't see I see Mandy in the green room, but I don't see her on the screen. Mandy, are you there?
Mandy! I just nudged her over.
Mandy, I see. Oh, there you are.
All right. We got some Mandy.
Hello, Mandy. How are you?
Nope.
Sorry about
There
that.
she is.
And I'm the wrong way, of course.
Hey, Mandy, have you been taking directions from Miss Payne about technology?
Hey, no, because I was just going to tell her what to do. Are you on your phone?
I am on my phone.
Okay, do the auto rotate for your portrait or landscape, and
Hold
then
on
it
a
will make
second.
you look like
Deidre.
Okay.
She's doing just fine. She's on there now.
Okay, yeah, don't touch anything then.
Okay,
My
yeah, I was just going to make my phone stand up and possibly be at a good level.
Mr. Davis, I'm all proud of myself. I got a background now.
You know, you're going to
So it
become
took me a year.
You're going to become our chief technology officer, CTO.
Ooh, that's a nice
Leave
one.
that to Darren.
CTO.
Look, you've fooled somebody, Deidre.
No, don't tell him, Mr. Davis. Don't tell him.
She knew what to do. She actually helped me fix the settings in my Google.
Don't tell him, Mr. Davis. It's our secret.
You know what I'm really impressed though, Darren, this is even more impressive than anything you have in your studio. Look at the lights Mandy has.
I love them. I was just seeing those. Those are fabulous.
And my filming area.
Wow, those are great. The twinkle. I need some of that. Maybe you need
No,
some.
your bill is already $900, Darren. You don't need any more. Unless you get battery operated one.
Where do I get those lights, Mandy?
Oh, actually, I think I got them from Lowe's, so it wasn't too bad.
Those are physical lights?
Yep, they're actually like little light strands, like you would see.
And they're battery operated, huh? Are they battery operated?
I thought it was one of those laser.
Yeah, I have lights like that I put up for holidays around my door.
Mandy, I thought they were like a little machine on the ground flashing on your wall.
I wish I was working with that advanced setup.
They actually have that.
Yes, I've seen them. They're some of the setups on YouTube are insane.
Yeah, they're like this. One of these little gajonis.
Oh, right Darren has everything.
Oh,
Darren,
yeah, I love those.
There it is, right there. Project the little lasers out.
Cool.
Darren, now you know what to get Mr. Davis for Christmas.
Mr. Davis got frustrated with it. They'd always have a little red dot on me.
Okay, Mandy, where are you calling in from?
I am calling in from North Carolina.
North Carolina. How far from Greensboro are you?
I am in Asheville. I'm about 3 hours away from there. I have some sisters there. We actually, I was on in June and we had spoken about it, about Greensboro.
I've actually been to Asheville.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's
Mhm.
so great. I hope you enjoyed it.
You know, I was very impressed because I thought I was going to the deep south, and Asheville reminds me of San Francisco.
Right? It's almost like we always like to call it like a mini Seattle because our weather is very, very similar to Seattle's. We get a lot of days of rain. But yeah, it's a different place here.
So what's
My
going on
co-host is from there too.
Oh,
What?
that's so cool.
Mike, my co-host, he's from North Carolina, right around that same area.
Oh, that's
Oh, really?
awesome. Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's right. What is Charlotte's outside, like 2 hours from Charlottesville or something like that? Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Nice. Yeah. Then he would be right near me if he's in Western North Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you from North Carolina originally?
Me? Yes, I am.
Okay, very good.
I've
'Cause I
lived here
don't.
my whole life until now, which I'm about to get out as soon as I'm done with this.
So what happened with you and
I am
CPS?
in a 7-month investigation. It was supposed to be a 45-day investigation, but it has lasted 7 months, and I have been dragged into court for obstruction. I was not obstructing. I literally took your advice, kept things surface level. The first worker we had some issues with, and she literally like screaming matches, things like that, and it was just terrible. It was so awful, and we ended up having to just. Sorry about that.
Whoa! Holy smokes!
Sorry about that.
Scared me.
But so we had a worker, and she's literally had a scream match with my husband. We had told her not to contact us, that we would like someone else because we feel she's biased. And then she has drug us in on an obstruction charge when we were literally told by the worker who dropped off this invasive medical evaluation, which nothing in our case denotes that our daughter needs a forensic evaluation that we're not allowed to attend. That we wouldn't be in any kind of obstruction if we denied it, that it was our choice to deny it. Well, within 2 days, she had us in court for obstruction. So our trial date is coming up, and I thought of you, and I wanted to speak to you if I could. I've got the petition right here if you'd like to know anything else.
Oh, don't show it to me. Don't show it. It's confidential.
Yep.
Okay. So why don't you not mention any names and ask whatever questions you want?
Okay. First, in this, let me start by a little preface. My sister has BPD. She has called on me. This will make 3 times. They came out once, I want to say 2 years ago in 2021, and that was closed for harassment. And then my father is in his 70s. He has dementia, sadly. And she went and got him confused, and he called because he thought he was going to be like helping me in some way, not thinking that they will not take things that you say as, oh, let me help. You know what I mean? So he called, and then they came out, and then my sister called right behind.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to call that DPing.
Hey,
Japaning.
I never freeze like that, do I?
Okay, Mandy, if you can hear me, we can't hear you, and you're frozen.
Look at Darren.
Grace, if Grace can hear me, Grace is our executive producer, and she's supposed to help these folks with technical issues and make sure they have high-speed internet and, all that kind of. Grace, what is going on?
Is she just
Grace
waiting for
was
us? Or
blame for it.
oh, she's
No,
out.
she's gone now.
Bye, Mandy.
That was a great, that was going to be, I thought you were really going to be able to get out there and she was going to have questions and everything for you.
Yeah,
She'll
I
do
thought
that.
so too. I thought so too.
Oh. Yeah. Men in CPS trenches. It's right there.
Mr.
The new
Davis, have
show.
you heard about the bill that they just passed in California? About the California passes bill threatening custody of parents who won't affirm their kid's gender. It was just passed
What?
on Friday. It requires a judge to consider whether or not a parent affirms their child's gender identity in a custody dispute.
I don't even know what that means.
Like
Good, I was-
basically, here, let me read an example because I didn't really know what it means neither. It says the bill for purposes of this provision would include a parent's affirmation of the child's gender identity or gender expression as part of the health, safety, and welfare of the child. So basically, typically it happens when their gender identity matches their biological gender, but when it doesn't, the affirmation starts to wane. Our duty as parents is to affirm our children. So basically, the bill is saying if you don't, like, let's say, agree with your child now stating that they want to become a boy when they're a girl, that could actually be used against you in court, and a judge could, I think, take away visits or even custody if that's the road that you choose to go down. Yeah, California bills would remove visitation rights for parents who don't affirm child's gender identity. And it was passed on
Wow.
Friday. And I guess the two people
Wow.
kind of behind it they're stating is, you know, two people that have been notorious for introducing numerous pro-LGBT bills that have garnered widespread backlash, as legislation has included a bill that decriminalized the act of knowingly infecting someone with HIV, as well as a bill decriminalizing homosexual acts with minors.
Oh, all right.
So because of Google's community standards, we're not going to get into that
We'll leave that
discussion.
one be here.
Yeah, because I think
Mm.
we're damned
You
if
got
we
too many
do and
letters.
damned if we don't. You know,
What a, well,
so
Are you going along the lines of like what we're allowed to talk about? Is that what you mean? For this, for like Facebook and stuff? Oh, okay.
yeah. Did you see the warning that we, or not the warning, the
No, you mentioned it to
discipline?
us last night.
Yeah. So we were
I didn't see
disciplined.
anything about it.
We were disciplined.
what is that? Does it come in an official letter?
No, they just message you. You've got
Oh,
mail.
I see. Yeah.
Mail that you don't want to open.
Oh, look who's back. Look who's back. Mandy.
Sorry,
is
All
back.
right,
I'm
Mindy.
out.
Yay.
She
Uh-oh.
was back.
Yeah. Shoot.
Where's she from again?
No,
North
I'm just
Dakota?
glad. No, North Carolina, next door to Mike.
Oh. Oh.
Nothing like listening.
Hey,
Deidre, you can have all the backgrounds you want. Still not going to
I
change
had
your
someone from
music.
Orange County on my show this
Sorry.
morning that was listening.
Freaking me out. Like, I don't know why. Like, it's just, I'm so sorry.
So, Mandy, you
We're all
had
good
some
now, though.
questions for me.
I did. Basically, I was going into the backstory of things that my sister has BPD and that she's called on me several times.
Hold on. What is DPD?
BPD, borderline personality disorder, and you have delusions of grandeur, and she will get these. We've been no contact for 2 years. Yet in this 2-year span, she continues to call on me. I've tried to take protective orders on her, and it's like there's not enough because
Is she a minor?
You know, no false reporting. Like there's nothing that can happen to.
Is she a minor?
No, she is not. She is well past minor.
Then why are we talking about her with respect to CPS?
Because she is the one that keeps making the calls, and I know this for a fact. I know because she gloats about it to my mother.
Oh, she keeps making allegations against you?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
Wild allegations that I have people who will disprove them. Like some of the allegations, I'll just kind of lay out.
No,
are
no,
that
no. Hold
high.
on, hold on. Before you tell me allegations,
Okay.
ask me a question.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Can and why would CPS take a case that was closed due to harassment and then interweave it into a case that was opened like a year and a half later?
Okay, I'm going to tell you the answer. You're not going to like it, but I'm going to tell you the answer.
Okay.
Number one, because they can. Number two, because it helps the current case by bringing up old allegations that might be true. You see, you think these people are supposed to be acting fairly. I don't know why all you guys still think that. And then you come on the show and you're outraged that they're not acting fairly.
Well, it's like, I asked the lawyer when I was there, I was like, everything in him, and I asked him, everything in this petition is this is a legally binding document. So everything in here is not an allegation, it's true, right? This is all facts. Yes, ma'am, it is. Like the first 6 things, allegation, allegation, allegation. So it's like, it's just one of those things where you're just like, ugh. And it's like, I tried so hard to cooperate, but not let them be super invasive in my life. And because of that, I'm being dragged through the ringer. And another question I have is, if CPS has 45 days, that's what it is in my state, it's 45-day investigation without just cause, to extend it, then why would this be able to be continued for 7 months? It seems so out of proportion, if that makes sense.
Well, in California, it's 30 days, but that's not a hard and fast number.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go over 30 days, there's no remedy for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't go to court and say, hey, make them stop. They're over the 30 days. It's like, that was just a guideline. Because your case is so effed up, we needed 7 months.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
At least not in the CPS case. Later on, if you decide to sue them for civil rights violations, you
Which
might be able to,
we're on that path as well.
You might be able to use that as some type of evidence that they violated your rights.
Well, my biggest question is this. There's a forensic interview, and I have, I can't afford a lawyer right now. So we're going to trial with just us. But I have people who will attest that the things that are in here are untrue, and they can't prove them. They're literally untrue. And, one of the things was that I punched my mother in the face, which is absolutely wild. And my mother is more than willing to go and say that that's a lie. It's wild, some of the things that have been alleged. Like when I got the petition, I really got a broadened idea of what had been alleged. And I was just like, oh my God. And also, when we started, we had 2 different...
Wait, hold on a second. I missed the question there. Did you catch that question, Darren?
No,
Oh,
sir.
I'm sorry. I may not have... I'm sorry. I'm rambly.
You're doing a Deidre on me.
I'm so sorry.
Why is it my fault tonight?
My brain is completely malfunctioning.
Just ask me a question.
Can I fight this myself? Or are we just going to go in and it's going to be, you have to do what they're saying you need to do?
Okay, theoretically, you can fight it yourself. In reality, you can't.
Yeah.
And if you go in yourself, it's a recipe for disaster. And 999 times out of 1,000, you're going to lose. You don't know the law. You don't know the procedure. You don't know the rules of evidence. Okay.
And they won't, in my state, they will not release documents unless I am a lawyer. So
really?
all I have is my safety plans and this petition. So it's like I have basically nothing. Another thing is the 2 safety plans that we have. They're completely blank, and they say their home is safe and that there is no immediate danger, no anything like that, right? And then in the petition, there's also a spot where they can mark if there's any, safety concerns, any imminent need for services, and that's not marked. So I'm wondering if there's no imminent danger and there's no reason for concerns, then why would I even be subjected to a medical evaluation?
Was the evaluation court ordered?
No, that's what they're going to fight us on. Like we're in obstruction because they had sent it out. This, by the way, the social worker is unlicensed as well, which in my state, I guess is 100% okay, but I don't know what to believe because I called her to ask for her license number and she said I don't have to have one. It could just be mouthy, but I don't know. But yeah, we denied the asking for the medical evaluation, and now we're going in front of the judge for obstruction for denying it. So,
Where is the child?
she's in her bed asleep in our home.
Oh, she's still with you.
Yes, she has never been
good.
removed. She has never been
Good.
taken out of our care. There's never been a safety concern, period.
What is the issue? Why do they want her to have a medical evaluation?
Because we were not complying with what this singular worker wanted us to do. She said she wanted us to go
You're
into
not-
an case.
You're not answering my question. Why do they want her to have a medical evaluation? Do they suspect some type of medical issue?
They suspect they went back into medical notes that were 4 years old from when she was 3. She was a slow talker, and they thought that she may have had a developmental delay. But her doctor now has disproven that and said, no, there is no medical delay. She's right where she's supposed to be. And the worker did not get current medical notes. She went and got 4-year-old medical notes.
Okay. So it is important that you subpoena that doctor and all of your child's medical records to court.
Okay.
He will be the star witness. And if you ask him the right questions and you get in the medical records, you
Okay.
should have a very good chance of winning. Miss
Perfect.
Payne, were you whispering something, Miss Payne?
No, actually, the saint, that you call, is talking in the background. So I'm telling him to be quiet. So I had to mute it. So see, he's not quite the saint then.
Hey, Mr. Saint, how are you?
He's talking to you. Hey, Mr. Saint, how are you?
So it
Now
does
you
say
can put it
here that this is the levels of eligibility requirements for a North Carolina caseworker. It says there are 4 levels of credentialing. All are available through the board, 3 voluntary certifications for non-clinical social workers, and 1 license. They are required to be licensed in North Carolina.
Oh.
Well, wait a
That's
minute,
wonderful.
Darren.
Thank you so much.
That's not what you just read.
Well, no, you have to have some sort of a certification from the board.
Wait. Certification is night. License is day. They're not the same thing.
And
She said she called the worker and asked for her license.
right.
She doesn't have to
So-
be licensed based upon what you read to me just now.
So certification and license is 2 different.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes,
you're saying is 2 different things.
Yeah.
Remember the LCSW is
Yeah,
the
so it's
license,
CSW,
right?
CMSW, and CSWM.
I will say that on their cards, they have put that they are LCSWs, both of them. I have been visited by so many.
So one,
When I started, pushing back and saying this worker is very, just very biased, very combative with our family. Like, she scares my daughter. She started sending people out up to 3 times a week. It was insanity. And
Well, let me ask you something. How old is your daughter?
my daughter is 7, almost 8.
It seems like they're wasting a lot of time on this case, and that they're just trying to get you to comply to their will.
Yes, that is exactly it. Because what she wanted, this is what happened. She called me or came to her home and said, I'm closing this case. No reason for it to be open. And this is in May. She did this at the end of May. There's no reason for it to be open. And because my sister is the way she is, she called my sister right after. And I have logs of this call. And she said, I just wanted to contact you and let you know I'm closing the case. Is there anything else I can help you with? To my sister, the accuser. And after that, we were like, no. Obviously, you are not on our side. No. Because the next day she texted my husband and she was like, I'm sending this to an open case. And we're like, no, 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 no. You called the accuser. Like, we're not doing this. And basically, all the levels of things to do, like, basically, these are the things that the respondent can do that would make for obstruction. A refusal to disclose whereabouts of my child. I never did that. Refusal to allow personal access. Never did that. Refusal to allow observation or interview with the juvenile and the parents. Wouldn't do that. Or I did that. Refusal to allow access to confidential information. I did that. And then this one is refusal to allow DSS to arrange for an evaluation of juvenile by physician or other expert. And then it says see Exhibit 1. And one thing that has been a constant in this is just the constant state of harassment that we've been in. I mean, we don't live in our home anymore. We're at the point of we just want out of North Carolina because we're so done. We hear gravel crunch and we're running out, to if our daughter's playing in the yard, we're right there. We can't let her play, with her dogs in her fenced-in yard anymore. Like it's just gotten to be so much. My daughter actually said to me, and it broke my heart. She said, "Mommy, I think our home is haunted by DSS workers." And it absolutely broke my heart because this lady has just been sending people out. And they're always, "Can I speak with her alone? Can I speak with her alone?" Well, my daughter has separation anxiety. And it's like this medical evaluation, they're wanting her to go alone with no one. And it's like, in no way is this in the best interest of the child. In no way. And I've been lied to because I know that a DSS case, an open case, last 3 months, she sent a man out here that was going to be the caseworker for the open case. Well, he came by my house and he didn't log it in the logbook. Like I was literally talking to the social worker who came out the next day. And she's like, "Oh no, that must have been some random man that stopped by your house." I come in and get his card, and she's like, "Oh, well, I guess he is with us, and he just didn't log his visit." And it's like he's telling me, "Oh, I'll close your case in 30 days." No, you won't. That's not what the statutes say. So it's just been a nightmare.
Well, you know what? Don't fall into that trap about what the statutes say,
Mm-hmm.
because there are probably 101 exceptions to that statute that you don't even know about.
Exactly. And the one thing that I worried about was they had lied to me so much at this point. Like I know that they can lie. So I figured he was saying, "Oh, I'll close your case within 30 days because he just wanted to get it open." You know what I mean? Because we were refusing the open case because there's no justification for an open case. There's no factual justification other than the 4-year-old doctor's notes. Like literally, that's all she has. So it's been just a nightmare. I don't know what else to say.
Any other questions you wanted to ask me?
Yes, let me go through this. Is there anything that we can file to get an extension, to get continuation because we weren't able to obtain counsel? This started, we've been to 2 court dates. One was a status.
Hold on. Stop.
Okay.
If you ask me a question, let me answer it.
I'm sorry. I'm terrible at that. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So the answer is it depends.
Okay.
Because, well, first of all, don't they appoint you counsel in North Carolina? I'm sure they do that because I did a case in North Carolina.
They told us the first day that we were in court that we were not entitled to court-appointed counsel because we voluntarily refused medical evaluation. So we would have to provide our own counsel.
Okay, when you say we or they, who are you speaking of?
My husband and I.
No, who told you that?
Oh, no. What is it?
Oh.
Okay.
Mandy! Oh, Mandy.
Mandy.
Mr. Davis, I thought forensic investigation on a child is only done if there's like sexual allegations in the case. Is that not true?
No, that's not true.
Oh.
Answered your own question, dude.
Darren is going to Google forensic for us, and then he's going to tell us what it means. A type of forensic evaluation is sexual abuse, but there's all sorts of forensic evaluations and interviews.
You can't see my beautiful house background in that view. You see our 3 big heads.
So forensic evaluations are conducted by forensic psychologists and include a clinical interview, review of records, a psychological tests. They can include evaluations for capacity, for guardianship, for substance use, for anger, violence, competency to stand trial, and psychodiagnostics. And it
All of
tells
the
me where I
above
can
in a
go.
way. What's the difference
Forensic
between that and a psych eval 730 in a nutshell? Or that's not easy to compare.
So forensic is a more or less a competency test. Is that what I'm gathering here about reading these?
No, it's just something done by a forensic scientist.
Okay.
Where the 730 is just done by a psychologist, right?
Sometimes a psychiatrist, sometimes a medical doctor.
Okay, so I need to find something like that. How is a forensic evaluation done? So this says forensic evaluations include a thorough clinical interview, comprehensive review of collateral records and interviews, and psychological tests. As the evaluator is collecting and considering the evaluation data, they are formulating several specific and relevant hypotheses to legal issue being evaluated.
.730 exams are just exams ordered by the court in California, and it could be many different types of 730 exams. It could be psychological.
Okay.
It could be medical, right?
So then this says, oops, sorry, Mr. Davis.
No, go ahead.
So now this says, how is forensic evidence obtained? But that's completely different forensics than what we're talking about, correct? Or is it?
No, it's the same.
Okay. So this says, how is forensic evidence obtained? It says photograph and document the scene, collect trace materials, especially from probable points of entry, collect low-level DNA evidence by swabbing areas of likely contact, collect other items that may contain biological evidence.
That's the CSI type of forensic.
Okay.
Why do you think they don't want the mother in the room just to be able to manipulate?
So there's four types of forensic analysis. It says, is this going to be the CSI kind too?
Yeah.
It says traditional forensic analysis methods include chromatography, spectroscopy, hair and fiber analysis, and serology. So that's different than what we were talking about, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I see Mandy in the green room, but I don't see a picture and I don't see any sound. I fear that
we
we
have a message right there saying that she had to pop on her computer because her phone won't stay connected.
Hmm.
Meaning maybe that's what she should have used to start with.
Oh, she just sent a private.
Did who am I to talk? Oh Lordy! I have sound.
We call that the pot calling the kettle black.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
yes, sir.
You know, I feel a whole sense of almost like better than now on streaming now. I'm an expert now.
I'm just so happy I have that background of yours. You wouldn't believe, Mr. Davis, how long I thought this was seriously your house.
It does look like a Davis type property.
And until I think one day I said something to Miss G about it. And I said, well, you know, something about your piano. And Miss G's like, wait, what? He doesn't have a piano. And I'm like, what do you mean he doesn't have a piano? He sits in front of it every day.
I'm here. I'm just really glitchy on my computer. So I might take my cam off, okay?
Okay. Mandy, we're going to call you Tech Girl.
Yep, or Tit Girl.
I am, yes.
That girl's back.
That is the most unironic thing I've heard all day.
But
Are you actually
what-
using a microphone in your hand? Oh, I thought you had a microphone in your hand.
That's moonshine.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, it is a
Actually.
microphone. No, she does.
Yes,
I'm not seeing things.
what's so crazy about this is I actually have a channel and I stream. So all of this is wild.
Oh no, and
I'm
then
sorry.
there she goes. We can't hear you.
Usually my PC doesn't
Hey,
glitch
Man-
out
Mandy,
like
are
with
you
my
telling me-
camera.
Mandy, you stream regularly?
I do.
Was like for 2 or 3 minutes at a
do.
time?
Not even.
No, usually it's much longer than that, but my camera usually doesn't
He's
fail me as
talking,
badly as
he's
it has
talking
been.
bad on you.
What type of stream do you have?
I have a YouTube channel that I stream on. I
One
stream
of the-
about
We didn't
true
catch that.
crime. That's my passion. I'm a writer, so
You know, you might want to invest in some high-speed internet.
it's not my internet. It's actually my
Dark.
graphics card. My husband looked it up, and he was like, "It's your graphics card."
Oh,
So I'm gonna have to get the whole new computer.
I don't even know what a
What's-
graphics card is.
What speed is your internet?
It's the highest that you can get. But my graphics card, it just doesn't have the bandwidth to stream like
right,
without glitching out.
right.
Now, if I was by
There was some-
myself, it would work, but because I'm not, it's acting up.
Right.
Would you be interested in being a host of a CPS show?
Sure.
Okay. Is Grace with still? Yes, Grace. Grace is still there in the green room.
She just told you she has to buy a whole new computer.
I said if she gets it straightened out, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
my husband is rebuilding his PC for me, his gaming PC, so I should have it up in about a.
I'm actually buying computers.
Oh, he said he's actually buying me a computer right now.
Oh, well, hey, there you go.
Dude,
She'll
what a
be
good
on
man.
tomorrow.
Right?
Grace,
What happened to
Grace
the one from New
contact
York, Mr.
Mandy.
Davis?
Grace, contact Mandy. She's going to be a host and co-host of a new show. We're going to call it. What should we call it, Mr. Guy?
Something about her lights.
Twinkle, something twinkles.
CPS in I don't know, the golden lights or something.
CPS and Tech Mandy.
Yeah, tech
There
issues
you
with,
go.
with Grace and Mandy.
But make sure you actually have your computer going. That would be
Right?
So, what are the questions that you have for me, Mandy?
Basically, I think you answered them, and you sent that about the medical evaluations. Which, one thing that I wanted to ask was one of the things that they had on the medical evaluation was that they could take nude photos of my daughter, which just completely, I was completely just gutted by and thrown back. So I we haven't been offered any compromise since we've gotten to this stage, which I didn't expect it. But at the same time, is there a compromise that we could come to? Because I wouldn't mind if she spoke to a therapist or someone like that, but I don't see this need for any kind of forensic evaluation in any way.
Yeah, it can be intrusive. And if they don't have evidence to show that they need a forensic evaluation, they should lose. And one of the ways that they can lose is by you having a doctor come in and said, look, I've, treated this girl forever since birth, and I see her regularly, and there's nothing wrong with her.
Okay, perfect. And we had just taken her, we have an appointment scheduled. It's going to be after our trial date, but hopefully we can get a continuance so she can go to it. We have an appointment with her doctor where she's going to go over what basically questions that she would ask if there were abuse or neglect or anything of that magnitude going on. And then we were going to put those findings in.
You're probably not going to get a continuance.
Of course,
The doctor
Monday.
can't move up that appointment.
No, our court date is Monday.
Ooh.
And you don't have any legal representation?
Nope.
Oh,
We tried. We went to like the legal services, legal aid here, and
they
they turned
don't.
us down because we're married.
They
Because
don't
what?
really probably.
We are married, and they just didn't want to help us. So
Oh, this is terrible.
You know, do you know how to prepare a subpoena where you could subpoena your doctor to court?
I
They'd
don't.
ha-
I am pretty. I'm pretty good with that kind of thing. If you point me in the right direction.
Well, not being a North Carolina lawyer, what you should probably do is talk to an attorney or Google it.
Okay, I can do that. I definitely can.
And there
Perfect.
might be special subpoenas for juvenile court. May not be. I don't know. You know,
Okay, I've
maybe
So
actually
for
had.
murder proceedings, you could do that?
This was one thing that blew my mind. I have had several workers that are nighttime workers come out, and I've gotten close with one of them. She's very decent,
Uh,
and she
We
told
can't
me
hear
that
you.
there's no way this would fly in any other. You can't hear me?
You broke
you're
up.
Can you hear me
breaking up.
now?
We can
Let me
now.
try turning off my camera, and you can hear me now. Okay, perfect. I'm sorry. I said I had kind of built a relationship with one of these workers who's been coming out since we put "Do not come back to our home" to the original worker. And she told me that this would not be a case if I was a Charlotte citizen, Greensboro, any of the bigger cities in North Carolina. And also, she told me that I said, do you see any evidence that she needs this medical exam? And she said, no. And I said, would you testify to that? She said, yes, but they will discredit me and say I don't have intimate medical knowledge of your daughter. So it's
Well,
like
neither,
they'll discredit their own workers.
neither does the worker who is making you do this. Does she have any professional experience or anything to come in and say your daughter needs an evaluation?
Not in my opinion. In my
Does she?
opinion, what she has is she was not given the open case that she wanted, and because of that, she's retaliated with this medical
Okay.
request, knowing that it would cause me to be an obstruction. And then I was told I wouldn't be an obstruction when they dropped it off, that it was optional, and I was allowed to say no.
All right. Well, I wish you luck on Monday.
What's the worst thing that
Yeah.
could
Thank you.
happen
I
to her
really
on Monday, Mr.
appreciate it.
Davis?
They probably would, they could take her kid away from her, or they would tell her, go get the evaluation, and if you don't, we're going to take the kid away from you.
Hmm.
good luck.
Wow.
I will pray for
Thank
Can
you.
she
you. I
subpoena
appreciate it.
somebody in enough time before her court date on Monday?
Well, I don't know the rules in North Carolina, but I told
Oh.
her she could subpoena the doctor. Subpoena the doctor tomorrow and have the doctor show up. Put the doctor on
I
the
could do
stand,
that.
start
I could do
asking him
that.
questions.
I will do that. And theoretically, what I thought was that in the courtroom that they could possibly make me do the medical evaluation. I didn't know there was any risk to losing her. But theoretically, if I'm not in North Carolina and my child isn't in North Carolina, where am I at in that?
You're at kidnapping.
So let's
Wow.
stop.
Yeah. Is that what you're trying to go with that one? I was kind of shocked.
So don't try that strategy.
Right. That's
Yeah,
not a good one.
because if you have a court date that you have to attend and you don't attend, they'll be looking
Wow,
for
it's
you.
just it's insane to me. This is all insane to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm so beyond.
Mandy, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched any of my videos?
I have. I have actually. I've seen what can happen, and I don't know. I just
the reason why I ask is because, and I've been talking to Darren about this over the last few weeks.
Mhm.
Your issue is that you're shocked and appalled by what is happening to you,
Mhm.
and you're wasting a lot of energy on that.
Yeah.
Assume that they aren't going to treat you fair.
Mhm.
Now,
Mhm.
what are you going to do? See, you're telling me all this stuff about, how unfair and everything this is. Yeah, it's unfair.
Yeah.
You and everybody else in the country,
Mhm.
right? The question is, what are you going to do about it?
Mm. I thought I might have some ideas, but now I feel like I'm back in drawing board. But I am going to try and subpoena her doctor. That is one thing
Yeah,
I'm going to do
that's
about
all you
it
have to
from
do.
here.
And I want to be as respectful as possible,
Yeah.
but don't think up strategies by yourself.
Actually, that one was my husband's, so I can blame him for being an idiot.
Don't do that. Don't even waste your time doing it. I just told you how to win your case.
Thank
Get
you.
an
I'm
attorney.
gonna get on subpoenaing the lawyer, or I'm sorry, not lawyer, doctor.
But you should get an attorney though as well.
Yes, attorney.
Hmm.
He
Okay.
told you everybody 1% chance you're gonna win if you don't have an attorney.
It's less than
Yeah.
1%.
Oh yeah, less than one.
That's the biggest thing. The attorneys in our area, it's $5,000. So it's like it's not
That,
something
that,
that we actually have
but
in the
that,
bank to bank on.
that's the going rate.
Yes,
That's
no,
the
I
going rate.
understand that. And I'm not saying they're
But,
not
but,
worth
but
it.
wait a
I'm
minute.
just saying we don't
Wait a minute.
have any way to acquire
I-
that. And,
Well, you can like put something down, ask to make payments. See, here's the thing, and let me be blunt with you.
Mhm.
And you're worse off than most people. You know why? You have your
Why is that?
kid. You have your kid.
Yes, I
So
do.
it's not really that serious of a thing, because kids sleep in their bed.
Yeah.
You're not desperate enough to realize you need a lawyer. Now, when you leave court, and if I don't know that they will, but if they take your kid away from you, it's going to be, oh, we should have got a lawyer. But then it'll be too late. And you'll just blame corruption and unfairness. And although there may be some of that, the bottom line is you don't know the law.
No,
And
I
what do
don't.
what do I say, Miss Payne, that I learned in the first year of law school?
Ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Okay, so if that's the rule nationwide and in your state,
Mhm.
why are you trying to do this by yourself? But you know
You're
why?
right.
I can tell you
Tell
why.
the ten
Because
tell the $10 million story, Mr. Davis, about
your
if they
kid
found
your kid is asleep in the bed and it's not real to you. It's not real
Yeah,
to
it
you.
hasn't hit fully, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's not hit fully. And the sad thing is you're gonna, hopefully you're gonna win, or you kid keep your kid on Monday. But
Mhm.
if they take the kid away from you,
Mhm.
what are you gonna do then? That $5,000 lawyer, he now is
yeah, we'll
10,000.
become
He's now is
yeah.
10,000 because now he's
Yeah.
got to come in, fix your screw ups, and then win the case. Right now, he just has to win the case.
Yeah.
He or she. So, if at all possible, find a lawyer that you can make payments to. Talk to, Aunt Mary. Talk to your mom. Talk to your brothers and sisters. Try to raise some money to hire the lawyer. It is well worth it, because I don't
Yes.
want you to be 12 months from now calling me telling me, oh, I lost my kid, they're adopting her out. See, that hasn't
Like
hit you yet.
me
That
and
hasn't,
Darren.
yeah, exactly. Ask Darren about that.
Because
Yeah.
Ask me.
Yeah.
I really thought, because a court of law, I thought that they'd have to have hard facts and evidence. But
No.
Absolutely
You haven't
opposite.
watched enough of his videos. You haven't watched enough of his videos.
no,
That's a
I
place for lies.
understand.
That's
I
a place
just
for
I
lies and
work.
hearsay, not truth and law. That's not what the courtroom is for.
See, you know what? And this is what I tell people. You haven't obviously watched my video
Yeah.
on what is justice. I'm
Justice.
standing
No,
in
I
front
haven't
of
watched that video.
I'm standing in front of a whiteboard explaining things to people.
Hmm.
And the bottom line is 5% of what you believe about this court system
Hmm.
is true. 5%. Do you know what that means, though? The other 95% means you're wrong. And you don't
Yeah.
even know it. You don't even know
And
it yet.
what's so crazy about it is that I actually write true crime, and I go through cases where their parents have harmed their children or ended them. And I look at these legal documents and I've always thought, "Oh man, this must be the 100% truth. This is the standard."
Mhm.
That's so crazy to me.
Okay.
I think the
Well,
hardest part in your
I want you
situation
to-
is like Mr. Davis says, you haven't had your child removed. So you haven't
Yeah.
experienced that true
okay.
feeling
Ma-
of.
Mandy, there's a guy on here that just posted this comment. It's called having the Mike Bart's ego and arrogance.
Mike.
Mike is a really smart guy, Air Force
Mhm.
veteran. You know all the smart guys they put in the Air Force. I don't know if you know that.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I know.
Traffic control too, he
I'm
was.
a military brat.
So Mike thought that he could outthink, outmaneuver, and win against these people by himself. He actually thought that, like many people do that call me. You know, I was in court the other day. I was doing a hearing, and I was there almost all day. And a woman comes up to me and says, "Hello, Mr. Davis. How are you?" Now, I've never seen this person before in my life. She says, "Oh, we spoke a year ago." I said, "Oh, okay. Are things turning out for you?" No. I didn't think that there was any way that I would lose my grandchild.
Mhm.
I called you for a free consult just to get some information. But you know what, Mr. Davis? It's sad, but I didn't believe you. And a year later, as I sit here waiting to go into court, I lost the grandchild. I'm broken. Those are the words she says. I'm broken.
Mhm.
Is there any way around things like this? Is there, putting custody into someone else's name? Nothing?
No. Look, what you need to do, and I keep telling you, but
Get in the
No,
apparently you don't want to
I'm
do
going to try. I'm going to speak with every lawyer that is in my town tomorrow. And I'm going to send that subpoena myself. I'm going to get
it.
that done.
You don't have to wait. You don't have to do it just in your town. You know, when I did my case in North Carolina, I teamed up with a local attorney whose name I can't remember offhand, but he was an expert in CPS. His office was in Greensboro, like right across the street from the courthouse. And I met a bunch of attorneys, on the case, on people that even just in the courtroom, they were all very sharp CPS lawyers.
Mhm.
So I know your state has people that can represent you. I know that.
Yeah.
So if you can't find one, you haven't called enough, or you're looking in the wrong place.
Will widen my search then, because I thought that I would need to look in my town. I assumed I would need a local, this county lawyer kind of thing.
No, no, no. You need
Okay.
the state lawyer. And if you got really desperate, you want to hire a man or a woman out of state.
Okay.
Sometimes people get that way, but I think that you'll be able to find someone.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so
All
much
right,
for having me on, Mr. Davis. And thank you so much for your advice. I really appreciate
Mandy, I
it.
want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story with us. Miss Grace will be in touch with you about possibly joining our crew. We're in a nationwide battle, and we're trying to change laws nationwide and state to state. So she'll be calling you, okay?
Okay, sounds great. And I wanted to
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Gray. You said that you'd be praying for me, and I really appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. I will. I will be. I promise
All
you
right.
that.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. God, man. How? How? Right? Like this should be a wake up call for every person that
But
watches.
why is she
Look at
waiting
this
till
woman.
Thursday before her court date?
That doesn't. I'm just saying the whole. Look at this woman. She's got everything together. She's got. Would you ever? I mean, this woman is a soccer mom going through the grocery store. That's got. She's probably got the little booklet that talks about what time to change their kids' socks. And look at this woman in the situation she's in. How?
because of, I hate to say it, but evil family members out there that do what they do. It's sad.
It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, tomorrow is Friday. We come on at 7. Saturday we come on at 9. Sunday we come on at 9. I will be here for the Saturday and Sunday show. I will not be here for tomorrow's show. However, I'm hoping that my co-hosts, Miss Payne and Mr. Guy, can carry the show tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Grace, I hope
Where
you
are you
heard
going,
that.
Mr. Davis? Are you going somewhere fun? Not going to answer the question.
Guess that depends
Did
on
you
what
ever
you're
go to
doing.
that UCLA game or USC game that one day? Did you ever go?
Yeah,
When you said you had tickets?
you getting a little personal there, Miss
Well,
Payne.
you give out personal sometimes. Thought maybe you had
Now
football
you're
tickets
too
or
much
something.
into
None of the Friday.
Hey, and don't forget tomorrow night also at 7:00 Eastern, we have
Oh,
another
Lordy,
episode of
CPS.
CPS Men in Trenches.
7:00 Eastern is 4:00
4
Pacific time.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, very good. Miss Payne, how many shows do you do a month or a week?
Twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m.
Oh, very good.
She was supposed to be my guest this morning, but she realized that I wasn't an attorney, so she said, "No, I want to schedule Mr. Davis." I felt like she still could have came on and gave her story.
Hey, look, Mike says he can come on and do comedy.
Mike, you just settle down.
Don't get us kicked off, Mike.
Yeah, you got to be careful about
Oh.
those community standards.
Mhm.
All
He's
right,
a good
folks.
dude, and I got to call him.
Well, have
actually.
fun tonight or tomorrow night, Mr. Davis. Have fun. We'll see you bright and early Saturday
Yeah.
morning.
Oh, will you be joining us on Saturday morning, Miss Payne?
Oh, I thought you said we were.
No,
I'll
Darren,
wait
for
and
the
I,
invite.
Darren and I are usually there all the time. It's you that I'm worried about.
Right.
Hey, remember Miss G was going back and forth with me last week, and I got one day, she had one. Remember?
Miss who?
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Oh,
Lord.
Mr. Davis.
All right, folks. We'll see you guys tomorrow. You'll be on at 7 p.m. and then Pacific time, and Sunday 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll see everyone then. Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.